my name is Jen Tucker, and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Nearmap. I'd like to welcome Tim Connor with Oklahoma County, Oklahoma, supporting Larry Stein, the Oklahoma County Assessor. He is the Parcel Fabric Manager and GIS Administrator at the county. Tim and his team recently accepted the coveted SAG Award, which is Special Achievement Award in GIS at the Ezra UC in July. Welcome, Tim. I'm so happy to have you here.
Hey, Jen, thank you for having me. It's great to be here and try and share the best success story I can from Oklahoma County.
Awesome. All right, well, let's get started. I'd love to ask you, what challenges did the county face before using aerial imagery?
Well, some of the challenges that we really came across is the fact that we're a county that, in Oklahoma terms, is pretty big. We're 320,000 square parcels, and right now we're growing around 5,000 parcels a year. That's just your new subdivisions, your new splits and divisions off of random properties. These people come in and have disputes all the time saying, hey, is this my property or is this not my property, basically. These people will come in and just want to get the bare basics of also their property. And some of the challenges that we were really running through is not having up-to-date aerial photography. Back in the day, we really would have some challenges of not having an ability to get live updated aerial photography for more than about 2 to 3 years time. Oklahoma County, like I said, is growing rapidly, and with that happening, we really needed to be able to get more aerial photography as fast as we could. And as you'll soon hear, there are also some pressure points that we really had as well with certain entities and certain groups that we had. It was really just a painstaking process that Nearmap was actually able to help us with.
That's great. So I'm hearing your pain points were you didn't have access to regular capture program. What about, did you have access to oblique imagery?
Actually, that's a really big one for us too. We had no oblique imagery. The way that we used to do aerial imagery, which was really antiquated in a way for me, was we would have a group of entities that would come together and they would want to get the entire county or city that they were in for their purposes captured by aerial photography, and we'd come in and it'd be a price help for us because all we would have to do is get the unincorporated areas for our county. Our county is 720 square miles, most of which is encompassed by Oklahoma City, and then all these other cities would come in and fund their areas as well, like Edmond, Oklahoma City, Midwest City. These are the people that would really help bring down those cost values. But as we would find out later, when a big city like Oklahoma City doesn't want to get aerials for that year, we either have to pick up that price, and it makes us jump from a relatively small number to an astronomical number overnight, or we just don't get aerials for that year. And that was the case for a long time. I've been here for 6 years now. Over the time, we have historical aerials dating back to 2000, and you can see gaps in those aerials, 2000, 2005, and then from then on, it goes about every 2 to 3 years in increments. It was really a painstaking process for us because whenever we do our evaluations, we like to be able to see those changes year by year and do sort of a change detection process with these aerial imageries. Whenever you're getting aerials 2 years, 3 years at a time, it's really not going to help you all that much because it's, at that point, in my opinion, it is just there for the taxpayers to look at their property. Another big pressure point for us is the fact that when we would go with these people, sometimes they weren't the fastest at getting our aerial imagery out. There was multiple times that I can remember that we would contract in December and we'd get all the RFP out and everything, and finally get the contract ready by February. It would be next January sometimes even until we would get our product back. A full year has gone by, and for us, we need to have those aerials as fast as possible with leaf off. That way we're able to see the properties that are in question here. With the turnaround time being so long, again, we're pretty much having to junk those aerials, not being able to really use them for assessment, but unfortunately they're just for the taxpayers to look at their properties. Some of the other pressure points that we really were seeing, again, were obliques. We weren't able to see the side view of the property. We would only get vertical imagery. And at that point, those other entities also would want to specify what they would want and what was good enough for them. So some cities only wanted 6-inch resolution. Some cities wanted 3. Some cities wanted planimetrics. No one ever wanted oblique imagery though. And that's something for us, it's great to have because we're able to see from a side perspective from north, south, east, or west of what that property is and take a measurement of it if we would like. We can see if it's a 2-story building or maybe it's just a building that has a really tall roof and we don't know why. But it's a really great help for us because we're able to identify these things without having to necessarily be in the field. And that takes a lot of time and puts it towards more assessment, which in my opinion is getting a better product for everyone in the county. And these taxpayers are making certain that their property is valued correctly.
Awesome. So Oklahoma County has been a customer with Nearmap since 2018. And I'm hearing you say that we've helped with some better solutions like providing currency and oblique imagery for your assessor team. Can you tell me more about what Nearmap has done to help provide a better solution for the county?
Oh, definitely. I can tell you, I could speak for hours on how Nearmap has helped us. One of the biggest things that we were expecting was, hey, we'll get these aerials back faster. You know, no one's going to be taken in a year. No one will, whenever it comes to a subscription base. And we were like, hey, maybe we'll get them, you know, they're going to fly them in December, like early December. Maybe we'll get them by February, you know, about the same time. But at the least we'll be able to use these, right? These ones won't be out of date. They'll be from December. Well, what the joke is around here in our office is we get a Christmas present every year from Nearmap because they normally fly it early in December. 2 weeks later, we have our aerials ready to go, full county. And that's something else that is also great about Nearmap. 2 flights a year, full county, and everybody is just happy as could be. Because for us, we need that leaf off. But for some other people in the county that don't really care about seeing the winter time and like to see the green in all the trees, they get to use those spring aerials. And it really helps to bridge a gap in a way with other county officials and what they want to display for their taxpayers. Something else that we really, really love about Nearmap is just the ease of use of Map Browser. You're in the early stages of Nearmap for us. My boss would sit back at his desk and just use the time slider aspect where you can take this current year's aerial and go back in time to back up to 2014 for us is whenever we first had aerials taken. So that means you can see the progression of a property. And that was the very early adoption of change detection that we used for Oklahoma County. And now we are officially doing a change detection product, which I will talk a little bit more about, but it has changed how we have done everything here. Us as a assessing unit have to go out to each and every one of these properties once every 4 years. That means you have to divide the county, 320,000 parcels, into divided by 4. And we have to step on these properties just to be able to be within the statutes of Oklahoma. Now, that is something we are trying our hardest to change. Larry Stein, my boss, he actually is in the process of trying to get these statutes changed. And it really, what it will do is it will help us immensely with our work, and it will provide a better product that we will have in the future. In the future, we hope to be able to go to a just data review system. So in terms of having to just go to those properties and see it, if we see that it's green, that means it's good to go. We'll look at it with Nearmap's aerials, go back a couple years, make certain there is no changes that we can visually see. And then if it's good, data review is done. We don't see that property for another 4 years. And at that point, we would get change detection for the entire county, because at that point, if we're just looking at green properties and we know a lot of them have no changes, we can make a value that is 10 times better than what we would be doing, because you're able to see those properties once every year rather than once every 4 years, actually. It's just a great things, and we love Nearmap to death. We're able to do a lot of different things and what we've come to see is that our audits that we have to do for our properties have actually gone down since we started using these types of technologies.
Awesome. So with the properties that are green that you mentioned, that's where you have a third party come in and review the Nearmap imagery and provide a green or a red to let you know about change detection and indicate where you should go to site to confirm the changes to the parcel. Is that correct?
Very much so. If it's red, that means it's a major variance that we would call. And that means that the sketch did not match at all of what we are trying to do. And someone needs to go look at that property right away. If it's green, it's good. If it's yellow, there's some variance and you probably should go look at that, which I'm certain we would still send someone to look at it, because even though we only have about 40 appraisers, we still need to get out and make certain we're doing the best job for our taxpayers. Another thing that we have is, unfortunately, like I said, even though we try to get leaf off, there can be some obstructed views with trees or anything along those lines. So those ones also, we would probably send someone out to look at as well to make certain that we are able to do the best for our taxpayers.
It also sounds like it's really important that you point out for your citizens the fact that Nearmap flies airplanes instead of drones. Is that correct?
Oh, very much so. That is what we are running into, actually, folks. Believe it or not, Oklahoma County, we're in our state legislature and everybody thinks that we're going to be spying on them with drones. Well, that's not the case. Nearmap doesn't use drones. They're all aerial photography by airplane at the normal height and everything. We try our best to relate this, and hopefully this is our third year trying to get this passed, and let's hope it goes, because we'd be saving a lot of taxpayer money and helping them out to get the best of their values on their houses as well. Because here, the assessor's job is just to put a taxable value or market value on these properties. We aren't the ones that collect the taxes. That would be the treasurer's office here. So we don't do taxes. We're just trying to get the accurate value. That's all we're trying to do.
So you mentioned the ease of use with Map Browser and it's going really well. What other Nearmap products and tools have you guys been using at the county that's really been helpful?
A lot of things actually that we loved is the beginning stages of our change detection. We actually used Nearmap's map browser alone as our standalone change detection site. We were able to upload all of our change detection shapes as KMZs. This allowed us to go through each township, and those appraisers were able to actually look at the aerials right there on the site, which is wonderful for us. And I'm certain we'll talk about something later that we're probably going to use later in the day, more in the future, in regards to putting up some of our own data.
Awesome. So I'm thinking of the Geodata Link feature. Are you as excited about Geodata Link as I am?
The Geodata Link is all I've been hearing about since the UC, the user conference that I went to, and it's all I can think about. To be able to put our own data on Nearmap's website and host it there is a dream come true for me, because you're not only getting the best of all the aerial photography, but you're also getting it embedded with our data, with those obliques, with the panorama view, with the vertical imagery. For us, we actually host our aerials onto our public site for mapping, the site that I currently admin. Well, when we have a public site and we don't have an internal site like that, we've been treating our Nearmap site as an internal site almost. Well, that public site has to be restricted a little bit, so we have to make them 6-inch area. That 6 inches is restricted for those aerials. Well, whenever it's on Nearmap site, once I finally get Geodata Link, I'm able to see that in full sub 3-inch view, and it's going to be amazing. And my guys have been harping on me since the day that we've tried to implement all this, and hopefully that day's coming soon. We're trying to get that, and there is some things that we are also looking at. Maybe Jen can cue us in on what I'm able to talk about.
Yes, I'm really excited to get Geodata Link set up for you at the county. And by the time this video comes out at NAVIG8, this tool will be available across the board. Having the public display license sounds like it's really helpful for you as well. and you have map browser and the WMS integrations. So what does the future bring for the county, and how can Nearmap help?
Well, some things that we really enjoy about Nearmap is just the ease of use. And we know that that's not going to disappear overnight. We know that we're going to be able to log into this site and be able to get all the data that we need for our aerials right then and there. We know that you guys are going to work tirelessly to work with all vendors that we have and to make certain that our product will always stay up to date there as well. Something that I like to share, and it really doesn't have a place, is we just love the camaraderie we have with Nearmap. We know that we can hit up our reps, Jen here, or our other rep that we have is Tyler. We know that we're going to be able to get an email out to them or text out to them or anything or phone call, whatever we need to do, and it's going to be answered that day. It's not going to sit in some ticketing system for us. That's something that in these days we love. We love to be able to have that. And something that is great here is everybody has access to it at Oklahoma County. It started out just here at the assessor's office, but it's grown to something so much more. Like I mentioned earlier, some people like it different, like the aerials from the spring in different departments. Well, that's because Nearmap came in about 3 years ago and said, hey, you guys could come on as a full county, and here's the price point. And we looked at it and they said, yes. They said it was the first time we have ever had something of this magnitude, a full county jump on it besides a Microsoft product. And it's a great bridge stone for us in GIS as well, because it has helped us get countless other things involved with this county. Now, the one thing that I will say that may not be something we're doing in the future, it is actually from the past, but just the other day, my boss was actually using it, this site, the map browser site, for just looking at old aerials for his property. He loved it. He bought a new property and he was looking at a patch of trees, and he was able to see through those trees because we get leaf off in 1 year. And he noticed something out there. So he went and took a look at it, and it was a just old car. I think it was a Bel Air actually that he was able to find. And now he's in the process of trying to get it out of that area and maybe refurb it. It's just things like this that I know that our taxpayers, if they're not using it just to check out their property, they're definitely using it to do something fun and inventive some way. And it's just a great time, and people I know love this service, and I know that you guys will as well.
Awesome. I know that at Nearmap we have the standard coverage program that we fly up to 3 times a year based on population. I'm so glad that we cover your area twice, and that we're able to complete that expansion flight for you to cover your entire county. Well, Tim, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. I love being your customer success manager, and I know that Tyler loves being your account executive. It's always a wonderful time hearing how things are going. Thank you for all that you do, and thanks for coming to join us today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure to join you all. Thank you, Nearmap, for having me. And if anybody wants to come visit the great state of Oklahoma, make certain to come to Oklahoma County first. It may not be super big, but we know a little bit, a thing or two about at least some sports.
And barbecue. Tyler's mentioned you have great barbecue there.
Oh, barbecue, and he loves the pizza here, oddly enough, too.
All right. Well, I look forward to visiting you sometime soon.
Definitely. We welcome it.